Good morning, good afternoon, depending where you are in the world. I'm here with Christine Zilinski. I'm Caylee Augé. We've got a quick one for you today. We were talking about culture and pay and how they kind of live together. So Christine, you had some shares about your experience in like different models over the years, and how do you see culture really affecting pay or pay really affecting culture?
Yeah, so welcome everyone, and it's great to be here with Caylee today talking about this because I think this is everything in our company. And I started out in this journey 20 years ago as a salon owner, and I was team-based. And I feel like that culture really worked for me, especially when I was a stylist behind the chair and an owner. I felt like one of the things that I really enjoyed was being really immersed and part of the team. And as I've matured in the industry and I have realized I have wanted different goals, and I really wanted to focus on my entrepreneurship. I wanted to focus on giving back to my team in a different way. I wanted really to focus on leadership and understanding the process of how do I give my team more accountability, more growth, and not necessarily be immersed in the day-to-day activity of the salon. So I started to think, what does my team need more? And what is the compensation program that I can provide them that will support that culture?
New culture, exactly. So, and my 10 years in owning a hair salon was commission-based. So we've got kind of the best of both worlds here.
Yes.
And it really was driven, like it really does give each person that drive, but could sometimes lack some of the team elements because at the end of the day, everyone's out for their column, right? And so the analogy I like to use is the team-based pay. So if anybody doesn't know what team-based pay is, it's like really you get rewarded when the whole team wins. And I look at that as like the soccer team, right? That's the soccer team. And like either everybody wins or nobody wins. They're all working together. And then the commission salon, I look at it like the swim team, where we're in there training together. We're a team that when it's on, it's like, you're now my competition. And now, you know, I'm going to do what I can to win my race. And I think that's really, you know, we have to really consider all of these elements when we're choosing a pay model. It's not just what your neighbor's doing or what you think the team wants, or, you know, it's really like what kind of elements are you building, and what kind of coach do you want to be? Like, what kind of team do you want to coach? So knowing what you know now, Christine, what would you, how would you create this new model? I mean, we talk a lot, you and I, off live about like, what's this new model look like? And actually, if you're listening, go in the chat and tell us, like, if you're a stylist or you're a salon owner, what ideas do you have for this perfect model? Because we know that there's things in the salon industry that are not working, especially right now. Salon owners are not making enough money to cover expenses. Stylists want more money. And so how would you reinvent the model based on where you're at now, wanting to take a step back and focus more on leadership and culture, and be less in behind the chair?
Well, one of the things that I am realizing is that it's not all, if I'm outside the space and I have this grand idea that I want to be a millionaire, it's not going to happen with one location and in one space.
Right.
So I think you have to be real, first of all, what your expectation is. And I also feel like it's really important to understand the lifestyle that you want to have, and how much time are you willing to really put into your team, into your leaders, and into your work, and at what stage of the game are you? Because I think it's different. My mindset is so different from when I first got in the game to where I am now. And it's not that I want any less for my team. I've just learned a lot in 20 years, and especially over the last 10 years about leadership. And that made the biggest shift. So I think for now, I don't know whether there's always one recipe, but I feel like for now in my life, it's finding a system that really helps to support the people that are actually giving back to my company the most. And so it no longer is me doing that. And so where I used to be the one that got the monetary reward for that, I need to now give that monetary reward away to my leaders so that they get that reward, and that I find other ways to create income for my company, for myself, for the future growth. And I really am giving that away to my leaders that are in there doing the work now.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes people step back and they expect to still keep the salary for the job they were doing, but that salary has to go to the person who's now doing the job, right?
Yes.
So it's a big shift. So I think what I hear you saying, and a good place to wrap up on, is build it backwards, right? Like instead of just jumping in and just doing what everyone's doing or doing what was already there, really think about what you're trying to create and then build it backwards and think about how your pain is how that's going to motivate your team.
Yeah, and that's really part of the process of building a compensation program versus, a paycheck. So like, I feel like there is so much work to do in the goals of really, like you said, what is the outcome that you want in your whole life?
Yeah.
And then how can your business support that outcome?
Exactly. So that's the right order, everyone. Build it backwards. We'll be back next week to continue these awesome conversations. Thanks for coming on today, Christine.
Yeah, thank you. Have an amazing day.
You too.
Bye.